Hello, hello, hello. Here I am. Da 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 da. Ready to show you guys something else that's cool. Whoa. You guys are like so small right now. So tiny. Okay, now you're getting bigger. I can see it. Definitely getting bigger. Okay. Anyway, here I am. This is kind of my harbor port area. I haven't done anything with it yet, obviously. A little bit of steps here is all, so I can just walk around. But um, behind you, right where I'm looking, is my kind of my fields and plains out in front of where my base is. So we'll switch over here, and I'll show you the map. So you see I'm right here at the top of the map, and I made a little path that goes all the way back towards my base, pretty long. But all this plains area that it cuts through is going to be where I'm going to build up farms, different types of farms. So all different crops, probably put my animals out here too. And what I wanted to start with was, well, let's see. Can you guys guess what kind of farm that is? Just by looking at the map. See if you can figure that out. You can see there's something there, some kind of structure or something out there in the fields. I'll let you see if you can take a guess. And I'll head over. Oh, you can kind of see the top of a little house there. Way off in the distance is my nether portal back over by my base. We're not going to look at that right now. I got lots of work I want to do out there anyway. Okay, well, let's go ahead and head over, and I'll show you what I got. Hopefully you've taken your guess. Yes, it is a pumpkin and melon farm. See that? And we're just kind of walking by, and down here at this end is our house. And let's see, who's this? This is Cole. Cole is a villager I brought over to kind of man the farm. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview here. And I'll walk you through. There's some redstone involved. This is actually an automatic pumpkin and melon farm. I don't have to be involved at all. And it works pretty well. And one of my goals was to make it automatic. Another one of my goals was to make it fit, make it look good in the environment, not have just a bunch of redstone hanging out, or even necessarily look all that different from a real pumpkin melon farm. Now, obviously, this is a little different. You know, real pumpkin melon farm is just a field with a bunch of pumpkins and melons, but they're not automatic. So I'll talk a little bit about how that's made. I'm not going to do a walkthrough of how to make one, but we'll talk a little bit about that, and maybe cover a little bit the house here too. So let's go ahead and start. Hopefully we can get through a decent amount of this before it gets too dark. So the basic mechanism here is that all this dirt that the pumpkins and melons grow on has sticky pistons underneath it. So it pops up, and when it pops up, it breaks all the pumpkins and melons into items that have dropped. And then these dispensers here push out water while it's up. So the water flows over the dirt while it's all a block higher than it is now. So it protects the actual stalks. Flows down into these hoppers here. Hoppers carry the melons and pumpkins all the way down here. And then underneath here, I've just got a very simple dropper elevator. You can kind of see down there. Let's see. Maybe this one here. There we go. And then we'll pull this one out. There we go. We can come down here. So a simple dropper elevator here that takes the stuff up. So let's go ahead and back out. Okay. Excellent. So that's the basic system. Then inside I've got the house, and the house is totally blocked off so that the villagers can't get out. I've actually got two in here, and I've named them Daisy and Cole, and they man things. We got a little bedroom and then a little kind of kitchen area in the front. And then, while it's dark, maybe we can come down. Now, I've got a little hole over here, and this hole is special because this hole is where I've got a daylight sensor. So it can tell when it's light out and when it isn't. Actually, you know what? Before I show you this, how about we just go to bed and let this work? So that daylight sensor, when it gets turned on, it will trigger the farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to sleep here, and the moment we wake up, the farm will start, and we'll be able to kind of see through the window here how it's working. So let's go ahead and go to sleep. This guy can watch us sleep. Who's this? Oh, this is Daisy. This is Daisy and Cole are my villagers here. So here, go to sleep. We'll spin around here, and you hear the pistons fire. So you can see the water going on out there. We'll come over here. You see the water's carrying all the pumpkins and melons down to the end. Let's run around here. Doo-doo-doo. See if we can see it before it all runs out. Okay, there we go. So you see there goes the water, and then it stops. The water stops while the dirt's still up. You see there's the pistons holding it up. Some redstone in there, and then boop, all the pistons go down, and we're done. So that's it, actually. Let me just show you. So it brings it all over here, and we can look into our chest and see it slowly filling up with melons and pumpkins. So we're getting there. We're getting lots of stuff. So now that it's daytime, again, let me show you a little bit more of the redstone behind this down here. So way down there you can see that the, oh, there we go. See how best do I want to do this. Let's pop that one off. Actually, let's pop that one off too. We'll have to get ourselves out of here, but it'll work out. Okay. So down here, there's our daylight sensor, and then we've got a little bit of a path of redstone to let the signal drop a little bit, because we want it to turn on in the morning once it's light enough, not too early. And we also want it want this to come down. So what this does, this is a pulse generator. So this takes a signal, which is either on or off, and it'll generate a pulse when that signal turns on only. So when it turns off, the piston drops, and there's no signal to pass on here. But when it turns on the first time, the signal goes through the block for just a little bit, goes into the repeater, which pushes it out. But then as soon as it goes into that block, that powers the piston, which pushes it up, and then the signal is broken. So it just generates a quick pulse. That pulse goes through here, up and over, and across all of these here, which runs into these blocks right below the dispensers. That turns on the dispensers, which releases the water. So that's the first pulse. That pulse also comes down here and powers this piston. This is a sticky piston. This is not a sticky piston. So this is a hopper timer here. We got the two hoppers. This is one developed by Etho, and but the modification I made was this is a sticky piston in his timer, and I made it not a sticky piston, which makes it so that this timer runs through its cycle once and stops. So what it does is it pushes this over. I got a whole bunch and just a stack of stuff in the hopper, and that starts moving. And once this redstone is over here, this powers this dot, which powers the block there, and that turns off this torch, which allows this torch and this torch to turn on. Those torches power all of these repeaters, which run into the blocks underneath the sticky pistons. So that pushes all the pistons up when they're powered. And then, of course, when they lose power, the pistons all come down. So while the timer is going through the first half of its cycle, the redstone block is right here, and those pistons stay up. Now the other thing that's going on is that over here I've got a comparator coming out of this hopper, or this dropper. No, sorry, this hopper. This comparator is pushing the signal over here to a, as you can see, there's a redstone torch. So right now it's off because the signal is on, because there's enough items in here. When that item count gets below 23 or so, this signal is not strong enough. The torch turns on, boom, we shoot another pulse across, and it turns off the water. So when this count gets down to like 23 or so, the water turns off. So that's long enough for the water to push all the item drops, the pumpkins and melons, down to the hopper line. And so then this just stays on until the timer finishes its cycle, and this gets back up to 22 again, because all the items move over and then move back. And once they've all moved back, the timer is off. And that's it. So that all runs through once through in the morning when the sensor first turns on after it's been turned off at night. And that's the basic idea. So let's see here how we're going to get back out. I didn't make this easy on myself. this all back up. There we go. Oh no, not there. I kind of like to put one right here, actually. Okay, so there we go. There's our pumpkin and melon farm. Now, in terms of the style, I went with this style, and actually got the idea from another YouTuber who put theirs on, and I modified it a little bit for a couple of reasons. They were actually using some water that was dammed up here, and then was released by some sticky pistons, but it was pretty bulky, so I went with the dispensers and figured out the timing mechanism to make it all run automatically, so I don't have to be involved. No levers or anything to push. Also went with the glass on top here. This glass on top prevents these drops, for the most part, from going off to the side where the water won't carry it off. So the glass is here. It also is kind of nice because it makes it kind of feel like a greenhouse effect. Like we got a greenhouse that's helping the pumpkins and melons grow. Of course, real pumpkins and melons don't use greenhouses, but I think it works. It fits with the kind of a theme of having a farm here where I'm growing pumpkins. And then, of course, I decided, you know what? I really need someone to man this pumpkin farm. So we got Daisy and Cole, and they come out here. They can sell the pumpkins and melons. Of course, they give them to me for free because I set them up. And then I made a little pumpkin patch that's kind of decorative here that I really like. Had some fun working out how I wanted the house to look. This is all dark oak wood and birch wood that's combined, and yeah, I really like it. It works really well. So there's my pumpkin and melon farm, and it's the beginning of a bunch of farms, I hope, that'll be out here in my fields. You can see I got a lot of space here. I showed you the one map, but I got a couple other maps worth, and we'll put a bunch of animal farms and crop farms, and hopefully we'll do what we can to make those blend in, really look like good farms, while at the same time being as automatic as possible, so that we don't have to be involved in doing that. We can spend our time, building cool stuff and exploring, getting all the stuff we need. So there's my pumpkin farm. Hope you guys like it.